Welcome back. I'm Dice,
And I'm Isala.
and we're catching back up with Hope and Lightning in the Grappa Whitewood.
And
So,
if you didn't know, this is no rules. That's what the chapter's called. Anything can happen, I guess.
so last week, Lightning gave Hope a knife so that he could defend himself.
Oh yeah, I don't know if it was for self-defense.
At least ego boost, maybe?
Maybe.
He could have had a gun.
I've got to be
He had
stronger.
multiple opportunities to have a gun.
Do you think in a universe where gunblades exist, they might have like one of those tiny concealable pistols that's also a small utility knife?
Only if it's gold.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Then you can take on anything.
So I may have done a little bit of farming. I really wanted to see if that previous encounter from last week was refightable. It gave a lot of CP, so I wanted to go back. So I got a couple of extra Crystarium points to spend here. Didn't max anything, but we did see that there is a Crystarium node for additional accessories. That ends up being really useful to start mix and matching the combination of abilities and how they buff together can really start to come into play.
Yeah, and I believe those are active, like once you unlock them, they're active regardless of like what your current class or job or whatever
Correct,
it is.
yeah.
Maybe not as much fun if you went and switched to Ravager and it's like, well, you lost your HP boosting accessories.
Yeah, make sure you put the right things in the right slot, otherwise you just can't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're back to controlling lightning. It's fine. I mean, it's basically the same thing. The biggest hardship with this this changeover is the fact that we lost Quake. Lightning doesn't get get that technique, at least not right now.
And of course, you can't like have Hope use it because you're not directly controlling him anymore.
Yeah, you can only use
Thanks.
TP. We do have another TP ability though. We do have the summon, and I have words about the summon, but we'll let the experience speak for itself.
Well, the nice
So
thing
more-
is, you
more
like you
accessories.
have lower risk of dying as lightning.
I mean, I should probably have swapped the tungsten bangle that I maxed out last episode
So far,
onto
so good.
lightning, but you
Let's
know,
pick up the pace.
I also have a enhanced strength accessory that I want to keep using on lightning, so it just doesn't feel like Hope does as much damage, but it's probably just perception. So I think they're actually light.
Could I use one
Holographic
of those?
leaves?
Bit
So-
too heavy for you.
I guess they don't photosynthesize if they are themselves light.
It takes energy to have leaves. I guess technically it takes energy to have leaves originally. They just get more back. But we're not even really sure what these trees are doing, right?
I think they're just decoration, to be honest.
It is a video game.
You became a lessee, so now you're gonna marry this idiot? And you think I'm gonna buy that? Full points for originality. But don't forget, if you really are a lessee, it's my job to deal with you. Sis. This is ridiculous. Worst birthday ever.
I wonder if the food was a little salty.
Yeah.
Wait, Sarah! Why won't you believe her?
You kidding me? She gets made a lessee and you pop the question?
Lightning, stop it!
No, you stop it! Get out of my house.
You're shutting her out. She's your sister. Fine. I'll do it. I'll protect her.
Because he wasn't going to do that anyways.
Yeah. I mean, like, her reaction is a little harsh, but also, like, Snow popping the question was dumb. So, like, I don't know how I'm supposed to feel here.
How practical.
We interrupt this program to bring you an urgent Sanctum bulletin. Late last night, officials confirmed the presence of a pulse fal'Cie inside the city of Bodum. Acting with fal'Cie Edict's
She's not
approval,
lying?
authorities declared a state of emergency. The entire district will be quarantined in response to this crisis. This is a Sanctum bulletin. Late last night, officials confirmed the presence of a pulse fal'Cie inside the city of Bodum. Acting with
This is when Lightning realizes that Sarah didn't just get drunk and get a random tattoo.
Yeah. I mean, in their defense, you wouldn't know what a Pulse Lassie tattoo would be, right? They haven't had one in
Right.
decades, millennia.
Right. And it would be pretty believable just because it hadn't happened in a long time that they'd even found anything from Pulse. Like, at least as far as most people's day-to-day lives. Like,
Yeah.
we established
You have to
that.
go out of your way to get to the Vile Peaks to run into something or whatever.
Yeah.
I think I'm getting the hang of fighting thanks to you.
So it would be kind of weird, but, like, still, it's like one of those things, like, I feel like it's similar to if you went to a family member and you're like, hey, I was diagnosed with some, like, super rare illness. And you'd be like, nobody's had that in years that I know of. Like, I don't know. Still
Yeah,
a
very
weird
much.
reaction.
Or if you have that illness, then I'm disowning you?
Right. Well, I mean, it's not that weird. Like, back, you know, years back when AIDS would have been associated with being, like, gay or homosexual,
Yeah, unfortunately.
you might see that type of reaction, but, like, I don't know. It's still a little extreme from Lightning. But, you know,
Especially because everything else we've heard from her is that she was like, she became the parent to Sarah. Like, she stepped up as the responsible one when her parents were no longer there. I don't remember if we were told why they are no longer around.
I don't think so. I mean, obviously, she kind of changed her mind a bit in the few days between that flashback and the beginning of the game. So, yay, character
Still
development.
didn't like Snow.
That's fair. Like, it would take more than a couple of days to build up a tolerance to snow. The real interesting thing will be, like, when do we find out that when Lightning opens that box containing the knife, it was actually from Hope in the future?
Yeah.
You picked the wrong
Whoa, we can't get into the 13-2 spoilers yet.
Okay. That is a little early.
Juggling behemoths. Just keep them in the air. Yes, I mean, unfortunately, combat is pretty much
Let me go look
the
ahead.
same as what we were doing before. We got access to slightly more damage through stats.
I thought there'd be traps here.
We did get a new shop. This is just basically your magic accessory shop. Yeah, very little in the way of items here right now.
I like the little sound effect when you open that one. It's like, in the background.
Well, when you don't have an actual store to go into and experience, they have to sell it as much as they can, right?
Right. They gotta bring you the atmosphere of the store while you're ordering online.
Yeah. Yeah, I would love it if Amazon just started playing jingles for every storefront
Right?
opened up.
Is that technically a new enemy, even though it's like
We-
the same model?
We fought a single one in normal mode not that long ago. It's a it's the same Vesper base body without the mutagens. It does cause poison like the dogs did.
Okay, so that thing is somehow natural.
Yes.
For some definition of natural.
It almost looks undead though. Like it has rib cage on the outside and looks like it has it could be undead. Final Fantasy has had, ghost enemies just around. It's just weird that they would turn that into a biomechanical combat creature or something. I mean, I guess you could use it to strike fear in the heart of your enemies, but it honestly looks safer when it's been converted. It's green instead of death red and black.
And less poisonous, apparently.
Yeah. Yeah, these behemoths have a lower stagger amount, but hey, always take the preemptive if we can. I hear a chime. I don't know how I missed this. I just assumed this was hiding a pack of enemies, not...
Oh. It's like, I don't even know where it is yet. Okay.
And we do see here that there's the behemoths and the doggos are against each other. There's somehow two different factions, but it's mostly just to reuse that mechanic. It feels like this is the only place in this dungeon area where that even comes up again.
Well, they're both locked in the same cage, so I wonder if normally they're supposed to be kept apart, but like here they just weren't.
There were other sections, so I guess the slimes are friendly to both of them, but the dogs and the behemoths are against each other. So, I mentioned using the summon and having some choice words for it. The combat on his bottom seems to be going fine. We do have a shroud used on that one. It's a defensive shroud. Ended up not mattering as much. The vigil can help your damage, but one of these combats finishes much faster than the other.
I mean, presumably it's because you didn't have hope when you summoned it, right? So you lost all of his damage.
And I did watch the cutscenes.
True.
But the cutscenes are only so long. Yeah. So we maxed out our Gestalt gauge. So I go into the Gestalt. I use this mechanic. I do use auto battle. So yeah, The bottom combat is finished at 1:09. So we killed the one thing. That's fine. Doing the auto battle. It's deciding what I should be using. Now I don't believe the behemoth is necessarily that weak to lightning.
Shake the ground. The storm
Seems to
Maybe
be quite a bit longer.
The summon scale. Yeah.
Until
It
next
did
time.
less damage than a standard commando hit in stagger. And then let's just say, it doesn't go well.
And so it ends.
So summons will reset the stagger meter when they leave, but they give you a full heal. Lightning was targeted by a crowd control attack, and that put her in critical HP, and then in standard white attack, killed her. I could have switched to Hope while Lightning was in the air, or I could have switched Hope to Medic while Lightning was in the air, but I'm not sure he would have actually gotten enough cures off to mitigate the White Swing.
Unlikely. Summons. Wait a second. Those things that were holograms earlier are strong enough for you to jump up on?
These are purple. The ones that she broke were blue.
Okay. Maybe there's a difference, but I don't know. That seems suspicious.
Purple has higher energy than blue does. So
Oh,
higher energy wavelength of light.
checks out.
Bye, Hope.
Wait, he just left it? Jeez.
He has a knife. He can defend himself.
It's true. And he has Quake.
Yeah. I'm surprised he hasn't spawned from the camera. Panning.
Yeah.
Hey, look, there he is. We have officially maxed out all the Crystarium that we have access to at this point. We have 2 accessories on both these guys. We're fine. We can't die again, right?
No, certainly not. I think Snow said heroes never die or something. Sounds like him.
Yeah. That poison definitely hurts when they do a second attack. And that was with Protect up, and I still got critical.
You could have summoned again.
No.
What happened here?
Bad luck.
Yeah.
They came looking for us and found something
Those
worse.
4
You
dogs.
can't just leave them like this.
Don't touch anything. Control your emotions. If you want to survive, you forget about sympathy. How can I explain? Think of it like a strategy. Focus on your ultimate goal and shut out everything else. Still your mind. Move on instinct.
Like an animal.
Let doubt take over, and despair will cripple you.
Strategy. Good. I'll take anything to help me get through this. I'll call it Operation Nora.
Wait, why Nora?
Nora.
My mother's name.
Your revenge.
Yes. Don't tell me. I know getting revenge on him won't bring her back. I know that! But sorry won't cut it.
Snow didn't kill your mother. The Sanctum did.
Whose side are you on?
The side of truth.
Fine. I'll fight the Sanctum with you. I'll learn to survive.
It's really easy to change his target.
How can you judge someone else when you know that you're the same? Even I have dark secrets.
Whoa.
Secrets I'd rather forget.
So yeah, Lightning now knows that his mother's name was Nora. I still like the acronym for no
Back me up.
obligations,
No.
rules. Like it just always felt convoluted, and then it's because of her name. It's just I'm wondering now if in the Japanese version her name was different or it worked differently because like her name has the same characters as whatever their group's name was or something, but was read differently because that's a very Japanese thing to do.
Yeah. It does make you wonder, because the acronym is kind of just... Like, they had the name first, right? They did definitely did not start
100%.
with the acronym. Yeah. But
Keep up with me, Hope.
even if, like, it is the case that it's a bit of a wordplay in the Japanese version, it doesn't seem like a very useful one. So I'm not sure it was, like, necessary to keep that.
Someone had a pet thing they wanted to have in here, like, aha! It's very stiff.
Is this feral?
I need to go out and tame my motorcycle. I'll be back later.
Time to switch it up. Keep up with me, Hope.
Her tech does like 50% reduced damage, which is pretty great.
Yeah. And also necessary in some cases.
Yes. Good thing they don't activate Lucky Sevens, though.
Yeah. I just realized I misread the name of this enemy, because it's definitely like Milvis Velocycle, but what I read was Velocicycle, which probably would have been a better name.
Just scream speed.
Yeah.
Unlike my ability to kill it fast.
I feel like that enemy is a perfect example of why I don't trust self-driving cars. Eventually.
Well, there could be a person in there, right?
But I don't know if there was. Although there's people here, so it's plausible there was like an actual human pilot. But we've definitely fought them like unmanned before.
We've also fought sentient train destroyer things, so they had to train the Velocycle to attack on sight.
Yeah. That one in the background is just like dancing back there.
So the item that we just got from that crate was, here, refresh all your TP. So I'm like, okay, so that's expecting me to use a summon on this fight. So, because there's no split screen, you know that this fight went better. I still don't think it was necessarily the most efficient play.
You get the cool cutscene, though?
Yeah, I can skip those. And I'm just trying to build staggers, and I have no idea if it's the most effective way, but it certainly seemed effective to just spam the lightning strike. Unfortunately, the final attack just doesn't do that much damage in stagger. Being a commando there, you can see it just at the end here. 2 attacks with the commando once it's staggered did more damage than the final ability for the summon. I don't understand what they scale off of here.
Something bad's about to happen.
Yeah, I'm not sure, like... They're not really effective for the summons themselves as much as the, like, reset, essentially, that you get from using them in combat.
Yeah.
Which is, like, a weird way to treat them, because it could have been anything else and had that same effect, really.
And if you don't use the whole summon, then you kind of wasted that TP also.
Yeah.
And also, weird plant thing. Hello.
This is it. Operation Nora.
It really grind my gears.
It looks like the cocoon form of Bulbasaur.
Yeah. Aster Protoflorian.
That's a lot of HP.
Yes. This fight takes a while.
Does a lot of damage too.
Yes. So we spend a lot of time in medic here. It does a point blank AoE, but you don't have any control over your positioning to avoid that or split it up so much. You basically have to heal up just enough so that you can maintain the stagger meter, is this mechanic. I don't remember if I go back into the Libra screen or not, but when it buffs itself, so right now it's doing lightning attacks, it will change that element a couple of times during the fight. It will then actually have susceptibility to the counter element during that window also. So I'm sure one strategy would be to figure out which element has lightning weakness and then summon during that. I didn't plan that correctly. You can look at my TP meter. I did not have an opportunity to try and exploit that. And I'm not even sure, again, how well that would work based on our previous episodes with the summon.
Here.
Trying to maintain that meter.
Yep. I can't tell if it currently has fire.
Yeah.
You know. It's a bit less subtle than the lightning one was.
And unfortunately, we have max Crystarium, but lightning doesn't have ice to counteract
Time to switch it up.
during the fire mode. So there's some not having, the game not letting you exploit the weaknesses.
Keep up with me, Hope. Just hang on.
Which is a bit of a weird design choice, because clearly the fight is structured in a way to get you to learn the elemental weaknesses, but without giving you essentially all of the tools to actually do that. I'm not sure what you're supposed to actually take away, other than this takes a long time.
And so, back when this game first came out, after I beat it the first time, I did try to do a no Crystarium usage run. And as soon as I saw this boss, I remembered struggling with it during that. Because you wouldn't be able to unlock any Ravager skills, so you just have the basic Lightning Strike, I think? I'm trying to remember what you start with under Ravager.
Keep up with me, Hope.
It might be Spark Strike, yeah.
Yeah. So when it's water, it's great. Like, lightning damage is spectacular. Commando stagger launching, doing a quarter of damage cap from other games. I don't know if the damage cap is the same at this point. I don't remember. But it's still not enough to actually bring it all the way down.
Yeah, I imagine on a no Crystarium run it's just a very tedious fight, because it's certainly possible.
Yeah, I mean, the big thing with the NCU is the fact that potions don't use ATB.
Right.
So there's some animation lock to it, but for the most part, potions are free.
Follow my lead. Keep up with me, Hope.
And so I could have certainly used more potions, since they're basically just sitting in my inventory anyways, to get through some of the damage here, and I could have just kept the pressure up a little better, probably.
Time to switch it up.
Weird having them
Cool.
threw you in the air for once.
Yeah.
Follow my lead.
Yeah, I guess I never thought about that. The fact that the enemies can't stagger us. A lot of games that have like that mechanic, there's usually a break mechanic on your party also, so you could get pressured and stuff like that. We don't have that here.
I mean, the last thing this game needed was really some mechanic that applies to you that you can't control, like the positioning.
I was so mad. I was really hoping that the fall damage there would kill it. And so regardless of how long that felt like it took, I still did it 3 minutes faster than it expected.
Yeah.
Operation Nora, Stage 1 complete.
How many stages are there if you knew that was stage 1?
You did well.
Well, it's like a loading bar on a program. Just arbitrary.
Yeah.
Now we're leaving the forest and finally seeing lush green. Except it's the same plants. But it did give us a new shop. We can now buy biomaterial used for upgrading. If we actually had Gil. Pretty much the only Gil that I have gotten, besides like 1 credit chip at this point, is from chests. I don't even remember if I don't think we've gotten drops from enemies, like equipment drops that we could sell or deconstruct even.
Yeah, there probably haven't been that many from enemies. There would have been some from the... I don't know if I want to call them treasure chests. They're like treasure pods.
Yeah.
That creature come first sword, the best tagline, by the way, I believe it was, if it bleeds, you can kill it, and we probably carry it. There you go, now you get a cool scene.
That's it.
You just swim.
Yeah.
That's where you live, right? We'll stop in when we get there.
No. We're the sea now, and no one's there but my dad.
Hope, you need to let him know what happened.
Uh-oh. I know whose theme that is.
The screen's a little frosted, isn't it?
Yeah. That's the altitude.
Yeah.
Okay, time to hunt some lassie.
So what, we find him and that's that?
Don't get all hot and bothered.
Fang's so sharp.
Ah.
Sarah, am I doing the right thing?
So Snow's MO is to steal motorcycles.
Sarah likes the bad boys.
Hold on!
The fireworks dome was just training for dodging these explosions.
Did that happen before this?
It had to have, right? I think this takes place after, because they've already been engaged or whatever. This is day 13, isn't it?
This is day 12.
Day 12? Yeah, that happened on day 11.
Which, okay, I guess going off of the days that it makes sense, but to me, it didn't make sense. Like, this cutscene seemed like it was originally intended for the moment she became a lassie. Because,
Yes,
like, the thing
yeah.
had just woken up. So, like, if she had already become one, and, like, the proposal happened and everything before this, why were they still there? And, like, why did they just happen to be running away when the thing was like, ah! And did its whole, like, I don't know. The cutscenes don't make much sense to me, even if, like, the sequence of events is, like, somewhat makes sense. The cutscenes themselves, I feel like they cut them together in a way different than they were originally intended.
I went to the Foul Sea hoping to help her. But I was too late.
Yeah, I think the setup for that scene is like they started getting attacked, or the Psycom was setting up to take the Foul Sea away, and they just assumed that her focus was to protect the Foul Sea, so she needed to be there to help that in some way, maybe?
Which could be the case, but, like, that could have been established better.
Instead of just in situ.
Yeah.
I will keep my promise, Lightning.
Like, I don't know. It's fine.
Yeah, and the trigger for that flashback is Sarah, what do I do? Do I go and help capture the lassie? And it's that action event. Which it sets up Snow as like a man of action, I guess, but yeah, there's definitely some flashback stuff and how much that ends up playing into future installments of the Final Fantasy series. Yeah, that's a whole other discussion.
Yeah.
But thanks for watching, and we'll figure out if we're gonna go catch Lassie maybe next week. Bye.
See ya.